Hello, good Friday afternoon. This is Coach Anna, and I wanted to take a minute and talk about how our thoughts are our reality. Recently, I was listening to a podcast from a behavioral scientist, Dr. Craig Manning, and he wrote a book called The Fearless Mind. And he was talking about how our behaviors are really only affected by three things. One, what we think. Two, our habits. And three, our environment. We cannot easily change our environment, right? Things happen. We end up in situations. They always say you can't change what's happening, but you can change how you react. So that really leaves you with two things, your thoughts, and that's what he's all about, and your habits. That's what I'm all about. I'm a habits coach. But I was really impressed by what he said. He coaches professional athletes, and he's coached two teams to win NBA championships. And he talked about how powerful our minds are. And that's something that I talk about a lot as well. And one of the things he said was when he was playing tennis and he was wanting to be a professional tennis athlete, he was having trouble with his backhand. So he made the mistake of saying, I'm lousy. My backhand is lousy. And of course, then that thought became his reality. And for a year and a half, he couldn't land a backhand. And one of the things that he talks about for being able to have a powerful tool in changing our behavior, our habits, is to start with our thought and to be really authentic and truthful in what we tell ourselves. So he said, when he stopped using that, calling himself that, saying I am, and changing with, something like I'm struggling with my backhand, that really helps to change how you're viewing yourself. And when I work with clients, I see this a lot. I see this in myself. We get stuck on these labels. Oh man, aren't we just label people? We label people. We say, they're this, they're that. I'm not even going to get into the politics. And so when we label, we then assume this identity. And if you've assumed an identity, let's say you're struggling with smoking and you've labeled yourself with a smoker and you're trying to quit. Well, your brain says, I'm a smoker. So it's going to support you in that behavior because that's what you've told yourself. What if you're struggling with healthy eating habits and you've labeled yourself as fat? Let's say you say, I'm fat. I've tried all these diets. I can't change. Your mind then sets up your reality. So do you see how it makes it even harder to change the outcome of any program you're trying if in the background your identity is I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat, or I'm a smoker, I'm a smoker, I'm a smoker, and when I get stressed, this is what I do. So he talks about starting with the thoughts, and that's something I really love because it's something I really believe in and I've found to be so incredibly successful. So let's take the thought of I'm a smoker for someone that's trying to quit. How about they reframe that and say, I'm reducing my smoking? Or let's even go a step further. For 3 hours today, that's one of the things I'll do is I'll step them down and they'll get further and further between cigarettes. For 3 hours today, I did not smoke. So you speak the truth. Instead of saying I'm fat, you could say, I struggle with healthy eating. Or let's reframe it even a little more and say, I'm working on eating healthier. I'm working on choosing more appropriate portion sizes. Do you see how that takes it away from us? It removes the identity and it focuses on the problem, which is the truth. And then it removes any of those shame or blame or those feelings of guilt. I mean, I used to call myself a sugar addict. I've done this in public. I've done this on podcasts and things like that. But for me, I realized, oh, that's not helpful. What I can say is I'm working on reducing my sugar intake. So that's my little tip today is be aware of the thoughts that you are telling yourself and refuse those labels that are negative and that don't serve you. Because if you are embracing those labels and you are saying, I am fat, and you're trying to reduce your caloric intake, then your brain is saying, okay, I'm a fat person on a diet. Your brain is not thinking, I am making healthier choices. I am a healthy person making healthier choices. So just making those little switches, reframing in our brain, can set us up for success down the road because our brain is supporting the dialogue we're giving ourselves. So be aware of your dialogue, be truthful, approach the problems as the problem, not yourself. Don't identify as the problem. If that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to talk a little more about some of the issues that you're struggling with, I'd be happy to have a consultation with you. Give me a message or just write consult in the messages. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye for now.